So we're going to ask, what is needed to bring peace and harmony to your life? Okay. So as you're sitting here with me, I want you to think about what's going on with your life, and I want you to tune into yourself. You're the one that holds all the answers for you, okay? I'm going to hopefully mirror them back to you, okay, so that you can see them in case you're having a hard time, all right? But what is needed to bring peace and harmony to your life? Okay, because look, splitting the deck, we have the World card and the Five of Wands, okay? This is being like, feeling like there's no alignment, feeling like a bit hopeless, feeling a bit unsure of which direction to take. Like, does it make sense to go over the bridge and maybe try to make amends with whatever's upset, which is the Three Cups, right? It's kind of like betraying three people for the promise of these two, and all the action taken to, you know, create this drama. It's like they're in the mud here. They're all, you know, fighting for what? Like, what's the point? You know, what did you really gain from this? There's asking that. And then the World card over here is the Three of Swords. So this is telling me that there was a lot of betrayal, deceit, backbiting, slandering, lying, maybe even cheating, trying to compete for what? For what? There's judgment here. There's a need to reflect on, you know, and wake up. Have some sort of like realization that what you seem to think is maybe not your actual reality. Like, maybe there's a better way to exist here. You have choice in the matter and how you handle yourself in this earthly realm. So it's almost like your choices have great consequences. Death. Two of Wands. You have the opportunity to turn over a new leaf. Will you? Will you wake up and answer the call to make this right? The Three of Swords. The Death. Transformation. It's like the old version of you, right, is no longer the old life, the old way of life, the old way of thinking, all the things. This is you turning a new leaf and making plans. Thinking about the action that it might take. Think about, like, what does that even look like? There's something here, you know, chapter-wise that's like, okay, we didn't quite check all the boxes. There's more to learn here, right? Like, this could be, yeah, look at from the 5 to the 10. Yeah, someone may have had to remove themselves from some circumstances or position that they were in that caused a lot of pain, suffering, drama, instigating chaos, okay? Like pitting people against one another kind of stuff, a lot of upset, a lot of shame. Maybe this energy cloaked themselves, okay, and pretended to be something that they weren't, and now everybody's like super upset, right? They could be fighting with one another, and this person's carrying this really heavy burden, right? It could be something that was going on, you know, behind the scenes of a marriage. So it was like whatever you thought was going on, like appearance wise, was what it was. But I feel like behind the scenes, there was a lot going on here. There might have even been like another Yeah, look at this. King of Cups, King of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Yeah, it's like the secret here is that somebody is possibly in some sort of connection here, okay, with one another, and maybe finding this out because they're maybe committed elsewhere is really creating quite a mess. So what is needed to bring peace and harmony? Okay, what is the advice regarding what we're picking up here and the energy? How can we help them navigate this? Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. You want that in the mid position? Yeah. I was going to say this was motivate. What was the motive? Yeah, and then we have Death and Judgment coming out. And the Empress and the Magician. Wow. Holy shush. God, are you kidding me? Huh. Someone thought it would be wise, okay, to tap into energy and manipulate it to somehow do a swap with an Empress. Someone thought they could take someone's place, and they may have done magic to do so. They could be experiencing a transition at this time. I'm getting whatever they tried to do, right, was blocked. And I'm getting like there is like angelic presence here. Like there's divine justice playing out here for this. Spiritual law here, judgment. Yeah. I'm getting they also did this for redemption. I feel like they knew what this can also represent a practitioner, okay? They could have paid money, okay, to a practitioner to do like, you know, create some sort of like transition of some kind. Yeah. But instead it initiated them instead. So instead of like taking this to, I'm trying to be sensitive about how I word this, but someone wanted to end someone and switch places with them. All right. It's almost like they might have been like, I mean, this is divine feminine energy. So, you know, I'm getting like, this experience ended up being like an initiation. Like someone was able to accomplish self-mastery. Okay. Someone who through this experience was the student and has risen to the teacher. And so those that are involved in this process here may also be learning a lesson, a spiritual lesson from someone who's mastered something. And that very much could be you, collective. They could be learning from you. All right. Because I am getting like, this could have been like they attempted to destiny swap. They could have tried to, like, I'm getting like there's something that's like it's almost like they tried to maybe access, you know, your energy some way, somehow. They may have been like blocked. Yeah, because look, we have a Page energy, Page of Pentacles, Temperance, and then the Emperor and the Queen of Swords and the High Priestess. Yeah. So maybe they didn't think that you had this kind of connection. Maybe this also was part of like your awakening. So they could be going through their awakening. So it's like everything's coming full circle here. There could be an ego death playing out, right? So something that maybe they thought they were going to gain, they're losing, and it's almost being like rebalanced here. Yeah, because I feel like this is on its way. Either down or up, depending. So let's get some more cards because we have the Empress here. What else do you want to say about this? The Knight of Pentacles. Oops, let's put this here. This is slow and steady here. Ace of Swords. Clarity. So this could be represent like an opportunity years coming. Look at plans. Getting plans together. Six of Cups. 10 of Pentacles. This could be like multi-generational, like it could be a new community. It could represent like this is your generational wealth, your birthright abundance, your destiny here. This is like adoration, care, kindness. Could be a past energy that's coming in, maybe even correct, that might see a future with you. Okay, what's this? Who's this Knight of Pentacles? Is this a past relationship in this lifetime? No. I gotta know. It's new. Page, Pentacles. I feel like it's gonna start small, but it has the potential to grow. This is a blessing and gift from God. Okay, from the divine, and it's divine unconditional love. Yay! This is like you holding the line here, right? Calling judgment on what you experienced, using what you experienced to help create a different experience moving forward, like opening up a chapter, doing what it takes to grow from what you experienced, because also this talks about growth. So I feel like whatever shitty situation it was, you really had to do a lot of cleaning up. You really had to go and dig deep and experience pain and suffering that you maybe buried. So death will kind of like, some things are buried and they're meant to stay buried, but then some things are kind of like cleaned up, right? At the end. So yeah, there's like this death and rebirth process here. Okay? And the growth here, the potential, the divine presence here is very, very strong. And yeah, I'm getting like, look at the side eye of this horse. Isn't that funny? I think that's so funny. Yeah, I feel like you're this beautiful, pure, innocent soul. Like you just, you embody this, maybe even naivete, if that's how you say it. But I feel like someone has, I'm getting like they've got some karmic debt that they need to work through with a Queen of Cups. And I'm getting that's not you, collective, okay? And that was the Five of Cups, right? I was getting that when we were looking at the bottom of the deck and we were first starting the reading, the Five of Cups. And I was like, okay, does it make sense? This person could be thinking about like, do I go back and try to make amends? And do I try to work things out? Or, oh, there's somebody new coming in, and feeling this abandonment and rejection here that is really weighing on someone. I feel like there's some like ashamed, but not sure, like not knowing how to get out of it. So yeah, there's this like, yeah, look at, we have the Star card, the Sun card, yeah. Yeah, I feel like this is, someone's having to see themselves. Maybe they've avoided themselves far too long. Now it's time for them to see themselves, okay? And they deserve love just like everybody else, but they have to love themselves first. Otherwise, they're going to continue to attract in what they need the most, which is self-love. And I feel like that might have been a lesson you learned with them, okay? And now they're learning that in this lesson, okay, with that Wheel of Fortune, okay? So, yeah, there's definitely healing here. Someone's being guided to do that self-evaluation and to seek, you know, a teacher, a mentor, a coach, somebody who can kind of like, you know, help bring new light, right? Maybe someone's needing a bit of like support, right? But I feel like this is an inside job, and you know, maybe there's a bit of avoidance here and not sure how to get started, but you know, there's plenty of resources that are available here. All right. And then I'm getting the Hierophant. So yeah, this was a spiritual contract. I'm getting there was like a higher level commitment here. And there was someone that chose others in this spiritual commitment and this marital contract that they had with one another. And as a result, like, there's ramifications for this. I am getting that someone's, because this is 5-5, so there's like changes needed in this person's life. They could be dealing with a lot of like substances and having a hard time coping with life. And I feel like, you know, they knew what they got themselves into. They can't blame anybody else but themselves, because the Lovers and the Hierophant, like, this is like, you know, strong divine presence here, you know, overseeing this energy collective. So it's like, no, like, you know exactly what you were getting yourself into. The only energy you really can blame is yourself. So you find yourself in these situations in the various areas of your life, like, you know, you know, it's like the influence of a situation, the influence of family, the influence of relationships. And you know, the Lovers talks about choices, and when we're in relationships with people, we know right from wrong, right? But we're still accountable for making the decision, knowing that we know right from wrong, right? So there's accountability here. Okay, someone's being held accountable. I feel like when it comes to what's needed to bring peace and harmony to someone's life, it's about reflection, gaining, you know, clarity and insight on, you know, what needs healing. What needs healing? Yeah, and I feel like someone was shady and they were only interested in appearances and being wealthy. And so that really derailed their path. Okay, that really derailed their path. And so whatever they're being forced to look at now is to hopefully get them back on the path. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of secrets here that this energy holds. And they thought maybe these would forever be kept secret. But there's an energy here that sees beyond that veil, sees beyond that illusion. And I'm getting that there were multiple people hurt. And there's definitely something good that can come out of this as well. There's some hidden purpose with this. I'm also getting somebody sees this as like someone was hidden in plain sight. And there's like someone feels ashamed too, because I'm getting like spiritual hater energy. Okay, so I feel like someone may have like rejected their spiritual path, and so as a result they project, okay, their insecurity because they didn't choose that path. They chose this path. They chose to betray, lie, cheat, and steal for money. And so they project their anger out on, you know, those that might be in some sort of spiritual authority here, because we do have the Magician. Like, they were meant to be this magician, right? High Priestess, Magician, we had the Hierophant, we have the Chariot. So yeah, I feel like there's an opportunity to get somebody back on path, but it's an inside job. They have to surrender, okay? And I'm not so sure they're quite ready for that. But I feel like God's waiting, okay? God's waiting and has seen everything. And there will be a conversation if there hasn't been one already. So, yeah. Meanwhile, at the Lightworker base camp, we have the Chariot. There's forward movement. There's change happening. And those who have been activated are ready to go. And you very well could be moving in a new direction. Okay, forward movement. All right, there could be something coming your way as far as an offer. I don't think you see this coming, or you don't know this person. So we'll see. What's that? Oh, Strength card and the 9 of Swords. I think you might be a bit concerned about this. Oh. What's this? Strength. Yeah, 8-8. Yeah, I feel like whatever that Knight of Cups is bringing in, it's going to have you making massive changes in your life because your counterpart's here. You're going to be meeting your match, and you and your match are going to be soul searching, okay? It might bring you a bit of anxiety because there's a lot of change that's going to happen with this, but it's all good change, okay? So it's like, continue to connect, continue to go within for the guidance. You do receive divine messages, okay? Or you could resonate with being a divine messenger here. Okay, yeah. I feel like this is part of your destiny. You two are destined to meet. This is like a new cycle playing out for you guys. Okay, so we have a Page of Wands. You consider this good news. Good news is on its way. You could be leaving a difficult situation. This could be something that no longer serves you. So this could be people, places, things, work, how you do things. You're like, I'm seeing things clearly. I'm not interested in that anymore. This is you standing up for your beliefs, your ideology, what you think, what you care about. It's like respect on my name. If anyone kind of like disrespects the Queen of Swords, then they know about it. Yeah, there's the good news here. It might have been like a long time coming here. Yeah, look at, I feel like, you know, it's unfair treatment here wherever this is. So it's time to embark on something new that's more in alignment with you. So this is a bit of like career purpose energy here. It's like you're being guided towards your purpose. You could be guided away from, you know, something that you've been doing a long time. Maybe something that you thought was really stable and secure, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe it created a lot of like, you know, settling for less than here. You're not feeling fulfilled. So you're looking for something that, you know, is going to fulfill you. In fact, many of you are going to be working for God. Okay. So many of you have a purpose to illuminate, you know, what is behind the scenes here that isn't what it seems. Okay. You might be someone who kind of illuminates things. Okay. That's a lot. The moon illuminates things. You guys are funny. The last ones, we have 5 of Pentacles. Someone may be able to help someone else out in a situation. I'm getting like someone could be helping you out in a situation, or someone is feeling very stuck and stagnant in a dynamic here, and they're not able to get out of it, and they may see you as an opportunity for that. I'm getting like they're abandoned and rejected. And so I would say You're not really interested in bailing out somebody who tried to put an end to your own family and happiness. Like, no, like, I feel like you're prioritizing your peace over anyone else's afflictions. I feel like this is something that someone else needs to deal with, and it's not yours. So if you pick up energy that feels like restrictive, limiting, self-limiting beliefs, I feel like those don't belong to you. Those belong to somebody else, and they want you to redirect your thoughts to something positive. You deserve happiness and joy and peace, and this is like heaven on earth. So don't let someone else's, you know, personal conflicts affect you and your vibration and what you're here to create, okay? So let them experience their lessons the way that they're meant to, is what I'm getting. Because not all of these lessons are yours, right? There's a lot of bad decisions. Someone is accountable for these bad decisions. All right, so there's that. I feel like what's needed for you to bring peace and harmony to your life is for you to have really strong boundaries and self-love and self-care and choosing peace, okay? And also not always having to be right, and choosing and picking your battles wisely, and to also listen to your intuition, okay? So that is what is needed to bring peace and harmony to your life. Okay, so let me know how that works. I'll see you guys on the next reading. Bye now.